Mindanao is the second largest island at the foot of the Philippine archipelago. It is a predominantly Muslim region. Islam is the oldest documented monotheistic religion in the country, predating Christianity by 300 years when the Spanish colonized the Philippines. The Muslim region known as the Bangsamoro observes local customs such as child marriages that occur between the ages of 9 to 15, often arranged by their parents. Women and girls are expected to remain chaste, obey their elders, and marry within their community. Among the prevalent traditional practices is female genital mutilation or cutting, known locally as pagsunat, pag-Islam, or turi, which is a direct translation of female circumcision. Female genital mutilation or cutting is defined by the World Health Organization as the total or partial removal of the external female genitalia or injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. According to a study conducted by CARE Philippines, 4 out of 5 women have undergone pagsunat in the Bangsamoro region. In Mindanao, there are conflicting beliefs about the acceptability of pagsunat and how it should be observed.
Yung ang patakaran namin yakan. Kailangan i-Islam. Para sa akin, lahat, ituruan ko yung mga anak ko. Hasta yung apo ko mga anak, turuan ko sila. Kung anong ituro ng lola-lolo ko sa akin. Pero nagawa ko yan lahat, sa totoo. 10 ang anak ko nagawa ko.
The Yakan are an indigenous group of Muslim hill people from the Sulu archipelago who are known for their horse culture and weaving traditions. They mainly reside in Basilan, with some considering Zamboanga City as their home. Their language, Bisayakan, is a mixture of both Tausug and Sama Bajau, written closely to the Malayan Arabic script. Contact with the outside world may have influenced the intricate designs of their weaving techniques, but what remains untouched in the province is the practice of pagsunat, which is considered an obligatory practice and rite of passage for young Muslim girls to secure their place in society.
Kung anong alam ko, yun ibigay ko. Ha? Kagaya yung mag-weave. Kung hindi ako turuan ng lola ko, paano ko matuto? Paano makapag-aral yung mga anak ko? Yun ang ginano ko sa kanila. Lahat ang anak ko babae, hanggang ngayon mag-weave sila.
Darna Buenca is a tribal leader and a distinguished weaver in her village. She has 10 children. All of Darna's daughters have undergone pagsunat. She hopes her grandchildren will experience and undergo pagsunat in the future. Darna believes it is important to continue the Yakan traditions of weaving and pagsunat, which should be passed on to younger generations.
Sabi ko sa mga anak ko, anak, hindi na niyo alam ngayon ba o bukas, kailangan kayo matuto. Kung anong alam ng mga matanda, alam niyo. Kasi kung mamatay na kami, saan kayo magtanong? Kaya nga, sa amin mother, kailangan kung anong alam mo, ibigay mo sa anak mo, yung anak mo eldest, para matuto sila. Ganun ang ako, yun ang patakaran ko sa grupo ko, mga anak ko. Ito yung balik bungin, hindi.
It's religion because it refers to Islamic practices, and it's an indigenous belief and practices also as being exercised by the Yakan of Basilan.
Sergio Ilul is a tribal leader in their village. He owns a store that sells traditional Yakan art.
Pag hindi ka na-Islamize, na-Islam, so parang hindi ka masyado counted as Islam kasi hindi mo nadaanan yung proseso na yun. Kailangan i-practice pa rin yun because that is an indigenous belief. So being an indigenous people, you have to practice what has been left by your grandparents.
Pagsunat is a prevalent custom practiced by the Yakan women of Basilan. The term is rooted from sunnah, an Arabic word for traditional customs and practices followed in an Islamic community modeled after the life of the Prophet Muhammad. The tradition welcomes a girl into puberty and completes a religious obligation to be called a true Muslim. It is performed on young girls from infancy to the age of 15 or before a girl's first menstruation.
Ang nagsunna po sa akin ay lola ko, tapos pinaliguan po ako sa may hawak ko pong manok. Tapos ko po pinaliguan, pumasok po kami sa kwarto. Tapos nakadamit po ako pangitaas, pangbaba, tapis lang. Sabay po nakaano ng puting luko.
Sa afternoon, pinasok na yung kamay niya. Sabay sabi na, Bismillah. Sinugatan niya yung manok, babae din po. Sinugatan niya yung ng manok sa taas, yung tawag daling. Kumuha siya ng dugo, pinasok niya sa part. Doon may hinawakan siya, sabay kiss-kiss. Panday na yan sa harap mo. Tapos parang may kiss-kiss lang, tapos yung koton yan na. Tapos parang may sabi, Bismillah, parang may sinabi yung panday. Yun ang sinabi. Ganon, tapos okay, parang tapos na. Dalaga ka na. Kung lalo na kung mag-mens ka, yun na tinatawag budyang ne. Sayakan budyang ne.
Similar to neighboring provinces in Mindanao, women are the driving force on why the practice of pagsunat continues to exist. In a girl's family among the Yakan tribe, her mother, grandmother, or aunts can decide if she will undergo pagsunat. A blunt knife is used to scrape a girl's clitoris by a panday or traditional birth attendant as a prayer is recited. If the tools used for the pagsunat are not sterilized, this puts a young girl at risk of infection.
Kung halimbawa, nasunnat namin na natawag sa Muslim, naliguan sa manok, labayan ng kutsilyo at saka gapas at saka kandila, yan matawag na mo na Muslim. Yan kailangan sa amin sa Muslim lang na witness. Pagkaabot ng doon, yan lang na tinanong na kita Allahu Ta'ala saan ang ebidensya. Nang dito ang kandila, nang dito ang gapas, koton, nang dito ang bugas.
Salasina Musa is a panday who performs pagsunat in her community. She learned from her grandmother. Salasina performs 2 to 7 pagsunat procedures on young girls each day. A cup of rice, a hen, money, and oil surrounds the girl during the ritual, which all hold symbolic meanings to complete the pagsunat. These offerings are provided as payment for the services of the panday and a reliable source of income.
Yang ginawa ko, ganito ang partira ng babae. Iganunta, pababa. Hiig ko imakbu haram habaran mo, hikapin ko imakbu halahabaran mo, sunnatan lillahi ta'ala, hiig imabahu, hiig imalumi, asar da kau Islam, so hangkan na kau pia sunnat, hiina mo kay ama mo, adakala aun na kau na pagpangiram, bukon halal. Wala yang samad, hindi pwede may samad bawal.
Pagsunat falls under WHO's Type 1 and Type 4 of FGM. Type 1, as practiced in Bangsamoro, involves the partial cutting and removal of the clitoris and/or prepuce. Type 4, as practiced in Bangsamoro, involves pricking and scraping of the female genitalia. Pagsunat does not offer any health benefits, can result in pain, trauma, and health and sexual complications. It is a violation of the rights of young girls.
Kaya ngayon ginawa para sa amin, para kagandahan ng katawan namin. Hindi talaga pwede na mag-asawa ka na hindi ka ganun. Parang nakakahiya. Kasi halimbawa may magdori tapos nakakahiya yan kung hindi mo na-Islam yung anak mo.
Mandatory para sa lalaki at saka sunnah o kaya hindi pinipilit yung kababaihan. Ito ay sunnat ng Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sabi ng Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Idhal taqal khitanan wajab al-ghusl." Ibig sabihin kapag nagtalik yung dalawang natuli, ibig sabihin lalaki at saka babae. Pagkatapos nun, dapat silang maligo. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Ustad Al-Fahad Tamsi is an accomplished Islamic scholar in his community. He teaches young boys and girls the ways of the Prophet Muhammad.
Yung sunna, malawak yung ibig sabihin ng sunna. Ang ibig sabihin ng sunna, lahat ng gawain ng Propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sunna. Sabi ng Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Wa ma atakumur rasulu fakhuduhu wa ma nahakum anhu fantahu." Ano man yung tinuro sa inyo ng ng Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ng Propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, gawin ninyo sa makakaya ninyo. Kaya natin ginawa yung katuruan ng Islam, unang-una dahil sumunod tayo sa ating propeta. At ang pangalawa, gusto nating makuha yung mga benefits sa pagtutuli. Kung gusto mong makuha yung mga kabutihan mula sa ating Panginoon, kay Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, dapat mong sundin kung ano yung tinuro sa iyo ng propeta. Example, patungkol sa kababaihan, yung dapat talaga naputulin, yung laman. Pero kung hindi mo na yung magagawa, yung kiniskis na lang, mas mabuti pang hindi mo na gawin kasi hindi mo rin makukuha yung kabutihan mula kay Allah at hindi mo rin makukuha yung benefits na makukuha mo pag ikaw ay nagtuli. Hindi mo rin yung makukuha pag hindi mo sinunod yung turo sa iyo ng Islam o kaya turo sa iyo ng propeta.
The Muslim religious leaders in Mindanao do not have a unified stand on pagsunat. It is a highly debated practice where some scholars believe only men are required to undergo circumcision. However, the Yakan tribe continue the cultural custom of pagsunat as a purification process for women in order to be called a proper Muslim.
I would suggest and I would be in favor of just giving rituals, giving birth to a boy or a girl without cutting or scraping because there's a danger for cutting, infection might come in. So I'm not favoring the actual cutting because we can do it by rituals. Why do we have to do that with endangering ourselves to infection?
Progressive tribal leaders like Sergio are not in favor of actual cutting because it does not present any health benefits to a young girl. He believes any practice that includes harmful procedures such as cutting should not be continued. Indigenous people are moving away from pagsunat and have replaced it with less harmful bathing rituals such as pumbubuan, which is practiced in the region of Maguindanao to welcome a girl to the Islamic faith. But for most Yakan women like Darna, she believes the practice of pagsunat should be kept alive.
Ang importante, mapaaral ko yung anak ko. Mapakain ko yung mga anak ko. Matuto sila kung anong alam ko. Yun. 10 sila. Malaki na sila ngayon. Sa awa ng aula, nakapaglahat ang magsambahay ang mga anak ko. Yung iba makapagtrabaho na. 6 na magtrabaho yung mga anak ko. Isa na rin din ako pensionada.
Despite popular beliefs, pag-Islam or female genital mutilation is not sanctioned by Islam. It is not mentioned in the religious texts of the Quran. Moreover, many religious leaders think this tradition should end.